students, this is a quick tutorial also on multiple line graphs, but this time if you're doing sort of a rate kind of a graph. So in other words, maybe you, a lot of students that are like collecting carbon dioxide gas over time, like and looking at the amount every minute. So this is a little bit different than a date one, although it's similar. So I wanted to show you how to do that. So here's the experiment we're going to be doing, the effect of type of sugar on the amount of gas collected from yeast fermentation. And perhaps you set something up where you collected gas every couple of minutes and you took the measurements at 1, 5, 7, and 10. Now, one of the things that is different about this is that there are different increments between each one. In fact, let's not even make this 10. Let's make it 15. So you can see that you had, 1 minute, and then you had 4 more minutes, and then you had 2 minutes, and then you had 8 minutes. And so you want to make sure that that is not just a category, but that's actually a number line. So we're going to, and here there are 2 sugars that we used, and we're going to do a multiple line graph to look at the difference in the rate over time. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to select, as always, the data, and you're going to go to Insert. And the recommended charts, they don't really recognize these as minutes at this moment, so you're going to have to self-select the line graph. So we're going to select the line graph, but you'll notice that one of the problems with the line graph is that you notice it's equally spaced between 1, 5, 7, and 15, and we want that to be proportional. So you need to actually click on this area of the chart. In a minute, it will let me do it. There we go. Okay, so you click on that area of the chart, and so we want to be able to format the axes. So what you want to do is, I think you want to go to text options here. No, that's not it. Let's see if I can figure this out. Here we go. So you want to go to axis options. Okay, so we're in axis options, and you can see it says axis type. And I know this isn't a date, I know it's a minute, but what you want to actually select is date axis. And you can see then it spaces out 1 to 15. Now, if we then want to have some line markings to show where your actual data points are, you can select one of these charts where they actually show the line markings. So we'll pick style 12. And you can see that just your data points are connected, but it's not, there's, your 1 is right near the 0. There's a big gap between the 7 and the 15 before it was equally spaced. So that gives you, so again, you want to go to axis options and make sure you change it from automatically selected based on data and not text axis, because that's going to, I believe that's going to take you back to where they're evenly spaced, and you want to put date axis where they are not evenly spaced. Okay, then you want to do all the things you need to do for a good data table, a good graph. First thing you want to do is you want to give yourself graph a title. I like to number them, graph number 1, effect of type of sugar on the amount of gas collected from yeast fermentation. And again, this would be an average amount of gas. We might have done, 5 trials, and this would be your average. Okay, and then we want to just go up to add chart element and look at axes titles. So we'll do primary horizontal. And this is where you'd want to put in minutes. Okay, so put in minutes. And then you want to go up to add chart element, and you'd want to do primary vertical. And this one, you'd want to do mean amount of gas, and make sure you have your units, which would be milliliters. Okay. And then you could play around with some of the formatting, like you can look at the legend, and you can put the legend where you'd like it to be. It could be on the right, for example, if you'd rather do that. But again, you can see that it is evenly spaced. And you could play around with the chart elements and colors and such if you wanted to. But that's essentially how you would do it. So if this is not a date, but it's minutes, you still want to go to this axis title, to this, not the formula, select this, and Make sure you're looking at the axis options. And, oops, again, I'm never quite sure where that comes in. And you're going to want to make sure with axis options you do the date axis as opposed to the text axis or the automatically select axis. You want the date one, and that way you have it spaced proportionally. And that's your tutorial.